Bryce Cherry Waco Trib. Devin, just how tough is this today? I know Coach Aranda was, kind of excited about how practice was going this week. I mean, and where do you feel like, are the areas that y'all most need to improve?
I would say first of all, it's super disappointing just because, we practice way better than this, and it just hasn't been able to translate for whatever reason. I don't know. Like, they made big emphasis on energy, and I think we tried to have emphasis on that, and then it kind of died out. So I think just being able to lift each other up, offense and defensively, I think that's somewhere we need to improve.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Devin, y'all had held them to 7 points. I think it was 90-something yards in the first quarter. How, I guess devastating was that second quarter spurt where they scored 3 touchdowns in like 6.5 minutes?
I mean, it was big. I mean, that's when, the momentum shifted. And so with Texas, their team, when they get momentum, they become a really good team. But if you can pressure their quarterback and make them uncomfortable, then totally different team.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned energy, and that's been a big theme for y'all really all season. I mean, in that regard, where do you go from here? Right? Like, how do you finally turn that corner in that regard?
It starts with the players. Like, it has nothing to do with coaches. Like, it's the players. It's something you got to have in you. And we got to find where we can draw that from within us. I feel like we try to spend too much time getting motivation from out here, when we need to get the motivation from within ourselves. And I feel like when we do that and we're playing for the right reasons, not playing to prove somebody wrong, we'll be more dangerous.
Devin in the back. Losing in the way that y'all did to Texas tonight, mentally, how do you guys recover and bounce back from this in the midst of what I assume is a disappointing start to the season for y'all?
You just got to move past it. Monday, watch the film, and then Tuesday, it's on to the next opponent. I think we got UCF, so we just got to watch the film, get better, and move on. And I think just in practice, we need to make each other better. We make too many plays in practice that doesn't translate here. So just pushing each other more and more and more, and hopefully the results will show.
Last I looked, you had like 9 tackles. I don't know what you finished with, but just obviously the result isn't what you wanted, but just to be back out there playing again, how nice was that for you?
I mean, it was nice. I mean, to play. I love playing football. Stats don't really mean too much to me. I don't play for stats. I play to win. So, I mean, it don't really matter.
Y'all struggled through the first month with your run fits, just kind of consistently defending the run down to down. What is throughout the weeks been the consistent message for trying to get that improved?
So a lot of the time we used to try and fit the run with blitzes. And the problem with that is whenever we run our base stuff, the run fits will be bad. So we spend a lot of emphasis on trying to stop the run in our base stuff without having to send blitzes and just make plays that are extraordinary or something like that. So just trying to make plays within our base defense has been a big emphasis. And I mean, it hasn't shown yet, but our plan is to make it show.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Ketron, seems like y'all had success throwing the deep ball. Was that kind of an emphasis going into this game, thinking y'all could maybe take it downfield against them?
Yeah, that was a point of emphasis throughout the whole week. We believe in our receiver core, and we felt that we can do that and execute well.
Ketron, how much of getting in the red zone is a mindset, or is it just, execution? I mean, in order to punch it in there, what do y'all have to do better?
First is execution. It is a mindset because you got to give effort. You that close, you a few yards away. 7 points is way better than 0 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get in the red zone 5 times. We just got to execute. Got to have that energy mindset, pretty much.
Ketron, Devin was just in here, and he was talking about how sometimes the team, or oftentimes the team, looks too much to the outside for motivation, and that you guys have to find that from within the team. Would you agree with that assessment, and where do you kind of stand on that?
Yeah, I most definitely do that. Like, we need that inside of us, like inside the team. So, like, no matter where we go, everybody has energy. Like, don't look for, like, music, or don't look for, like, the crowd. Like, the crowd brought a lot of energy, but we got to find it within ourselves if we're going to be good.
Ketron, in terms of that red zone production, for y'all, how do you get past the frustration, or what is the frustration level for that unit to be able to get inside the 20 4 or 5 times and not be able to score a touchdown?
It's very frustrating, but it's just we got to lead that game in the past. We got to go make that a point of emphasis throughout the season, every week. Like, make that a big point of emphasis in practice, and just execute during practice. It's going to lead it to the game.
Ketron, how's it been since Blake's been out as far as developing a rapport with Sawyer, as far as the timing goes? It still seems like the receiving core and him, y'all are still having a little bit of trouble getting on the same page down to down.
Yeah, I feel like we could have put in more work with him. Like, the timing just off. It's different from, having Blake out there than having Sawyer in him. That's just on us. Like, that's on us as a receiver core. We got to get more time and more reps in with him.
Disappointed in the performance and the execution. I thought that the line of scrimmage, we couldn't get anything going from the very beginning offensively, and then I felt, skill-wise, there was opportunities for plays, and we didn't execute. There was drop balls, there was balls in the dirt. I thought that there was some explosives that we were able to connect on, but I thought that the access throws, the slants, the leverage throws, the things that were in the in-between, and that were there for us, we didn't execute on. And so it's disappointing and it's frustrating. Guys are hurting, and we all are. And so it's something that needs to get fixed, and our intention is to fix it. Take any questions you guys got.
Dave, you mentioned, the mistakes that you guys had. I mean, obviously Texas is a good team. You don't want to help them out anymore. How do you keep it from sort of spiraling when it's happening, so that it doesn't turn into momentum for the other team?
Appreciate that. Yeah, I think the simplification, I think if it's something to where there's a drop ball and you're wide open and you drop it, or it's a miss ID, I think reviewing it, and then is there a way we can simplify it? Was there a shift or emotion that doesn't need to be? Is there different personnel that we feel can attack that moment better? Try to simplify the problem and kind of get to the core of it. I think that's something that we didn't do well enough tonight.
Dave, you said you think that this roster you have is Big 12 championship level. Do you still believe that after tonight?
I do. I love this team, and so I'm a supporter of the team. I believe in it. I believe in the coaches, and we have to be able to play better. This is not, in talking to the team, it was, hey, this either breaks us or this makes us, this moment right here. And so we can kind of say, hey, that performance is who we are, and all these things that are being said about us is who we are. Or we can say, that's just what we did, we're working to get better, and we're going to push on through. And I think from coaching all the way down to players, that's a choice that we have to make, and I think it's a critical moment. And I think this next game, being on the road versus a good opponent and a good coach, is going to be a challenge for us, and we have to step up to that challenge.
Coach in the back, when it came to the red zone offense, it seemed like there was just an issue getting the ball moving in any way, shape, or form. What changed when you guys got into that red zone that allowed you guys to have little to no success there?
Appreciate that. I don't believe anything changed. I think some of the plays that got us there were explosive plays, and I think since the beginning of the year we've been able to hit on some explosives, not as much as we like, and I think we would trade some of those explosives for wins. We'd probably trade some of those explosives for more passing yardage and all of that as well. But I think we've been able since game one to hit on some explosive plays, so we were able to hit on those, but I don't think that was really a reflection of just the throw game in general, kind of a comprehensive view of, hey, we're executing and we're pushing all the buttons. I think it was more of hey, we beat a guy, but when it still came down to tight coverage and having to execute, that was something that we struggled through all night.
Coach, you touched on it that you're going on the road next week. 4 straight games at home. You finished 1-3. Can you talk about how disappointing it is to start off at home like that?
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's always disappointing to lose. It stings. It hurts. It frustrates. You can think that's who you are, and then when you think that, then you generally give up. And so I know our guys, the fight they have, and I know our coaches and just the belief they have in the team and the connection and all of it. And so all this will be put to the test. And so, we're looking forward to playing a really good team. And I know which will be a tough environment too.
Hey, Coach Sean, J. Rogers, CBS Sports.
Hey.
Obviously, year 4, 1-3 starts. 2 years ago, obviously, Baylor came back and beat Texas in a game that kind of started a bit like this. I mean, how do you evaluate sort of for yourself the state of this program?
Appreciate that. Yeah, it needs to be better. I think we've got to execute better. I think the talent that we have, I believe in. The coaches that we have, I believe in. And the execution isn't us, and we got to get it fixed.
Davis, you got Devin and Dominic back this week. I saw
Yes.
Blake going through pregame warmups.
Yes.
Are y'all, how big of an impact can guys like that make in this team?
Appreciate that. Yeah, I think a lot of this, some of what we went through this to a degree last year, and we're going through it again. Because we don't have Blake, and I think getting him back will be a big factor. Right now he's day to day, and we're hopeful that he can be with us soon.
Coach, did you feel like the play calling in that first half offensively was aggressive enough to kind of stay in it?
Appreciate that. I thought that we had ID'd them in the right way. I thought that we were, we had runs going this way and we had access throws going this way. And so we were in wing twins, for example, as a tight end wing with twins over here. So slap formations and toss cracks this way and bubbles and or access hitches this way. And we just didn't execute in them. I think that was the way to, versus a quarters team versus an off quarters team, I think that's a real good way to play it. And, I thought if we connect on a couple of those, the access throws are the closest things you're going to get to gimmies. Then I think you can build a momentum to take a shot or do those types of things. And so, I think that execution in the simple things has to be much better. Okay, thank you guys.